what do I actually do, or rather, what am I actually meant to do in my planners each day, each week to keep up with them and to engage in them? And how do I use that to try and achieve my goals and make sure I don't miss anything? That's what I'm going to be chatting about in this video. But before we get into that, let's just go over the supplies that I will be using and things like that. So I am planning the week of January the 19th in my 7x9 Tilly Journals. That's my shop planner, which is in the vertical 1 column without dots layout. I am using the Frosty Treehouse planner kit from Plannerface. I do PR for Plannerface, so you can use Tilly to save 10%, and that does mean I get a discount for promoting for her, but I have shopped from Anna longer than I've been a PR person, and I promote for her because I do genuinely love her shop. But yeah, it does mean you can get a little discount, and I get a discount for promoting for her. I do also have a foil bundle from Plannerface in silver foil, so it's a very Plannerface heavy week. This sticker kit was actually Black Friday, Cyber Monday, not mystery, that's not the word I'm looking for, freebies. And the art is by Nella of Clip Art Kits, and I think it is absolutely stunning. There is also a, not like related, that it's not the same art, but there is an autumn treehouse vibe one, and I love that kit too. I just love all the blues. Of course, I am colour blocking. I do not know the last time I didn't colour block. I did mention that I'm using a Plannerface foil bundle, and just to go over that, it is in silver foil in a wintry snowflake design, and I absolutely love it. I also love that it actually had the, I very rarely use a toolbox, but it had the toolbox overlay, which was just perfection. So yeah, that's the foil bundle. In terms of underlays, I made myself these wood pattern underlays. I do intend to release solid underlays at some point in my shop, but I'm not 100% sure because I keep going a bit back and forth on my shop and whether I want to sort of streamline what I offer a little bit more, or whether I want to keep offering more and more things, or kind of bring it down a little bit and just focus on a few products, which I think at the moment is the way I'm leaning. But anyway, that isn't the conversation for today. Other things I have is I also have my stickers pulled out in my Plannerface reusable sticker album. I just do that as I go along. I have all the scripts and icons there. Just find it much easier to plan when they're already pulled. And then I also have the scripts that I make myself, just so that everything is uniform and I don't write in my memory planner anymore. So yeah, I think that's everything that I have. As for this week, it was mostly a week of baby classes. We still were not very well. If you were here a couple of videos ago, we've been ill for quite a lot of the last few months. To be honest, particularly over winter, with having a little one, we've just found that we just are ill with viruses all the time or exhausted. And so it's not been the easiest few months in terms of that. But yeah, other than that, it was just a lot of baby classes. I switched my antidepressant on the Monday. It didn't last very long. It lasted about 3 weeks because my milk supply dropped for my little girl, and breastfeeding is very important to me. So I was not going to accept a medication that was, causing me to not be able to breastfeed anymore. Other things was just, were mostly just baby classes. I was in my feelings because we still were poorly. I wasn't really marking that we were poorly, but we were just still quite run down. Watched the final of the Traitors, and the sticker will show a little spoiler of who won, and I was very pleased about who won, so that's all I'm going to say about that. Went to Burnby Hall Gardens, which are the gardens near our house, set up my journal at the Planners Department mini-meet. I love the mini-meets because they're just this like monthly-ish call where we can hang out with planner friends and get that little sense of community in the planning community, which I think is kind of starting to lack a little bit with lots of people stopping doing videos and things. So I just love that little sense of community that we get there. So that was kind of the week. I'm not going to harp on about that anymore because I generally don't in my videos anymore, but I thought I would sort of reintroduce a little summary of my week rather than just, oh, we did this one thing at the beginning of my videos. But let me know in the comments down below whether you do want to hear a bit about my week or whether you want to just hear my topic of conversation for that week. Also, if you do have any suggestions of topics of conversation, as it may have been abundantly clear in one of my recent videos, I would love some ideas for topics of conversation. So yeah, especially because putting 2 of these out every week, and for the last however long, I've been putting a video out every other day. So putting out a voiceover every 2 or 3 times a week with a topic of conversation has been hard to come up with that many topics. So yeah, Anyway, as I said, today I'm going to be talking about my daily, weekly planner routine and how, or well, and monthly really. So the things I'm not going to cover is that I do my annual start of year setup at the beginning of the year and things like that. What do I do on the beginning of the week? So it's Monday today when I'm recording this voiceover. What I've done today for my week is I have gone through my goals journal and picked out the action steps that I want to do for my goals this week. Whether that be to go on some dates, which is part of the plan for this week. The goal is to go on 2 dates. It was actually just one, but when me and my husband talked about it, we want to go see a movie and it is no longer in the cinema after Thursday. So we're going to go and see that on Wednesday. And then Thursday, and then Saturday, my parents can babysit. So we are going to go out for dinner, just the two of us, which is going to be nice. And Bayla is at nursery on a Wednesday. So when we go to cinema on Wednesday, we will be sans Bayla as well. So 2 Bayla-free dates this week, which is very exciting. So yeah, I go through all of my goal actions and make a list of the priorities essentially for this week, the things that I want to do to achieve my goals. And that's kind of the only weekly thing I do at the moment. I do also try sometimes and check in with my self-employed bestie, which is the planner me and Sophie Avrima made, designed together, and I make and well, we both sell them, but I make them and send them out. But unfortunately, I've not really been as good at engaging with that as I would like to be at the moment. It's just how things are. But yeah, so they're the two sort of things I generally do on a weekly basis. Then on a daily basis, the first thing I do is I go through so in the middle of the day, I try to write down 2 things I'm grateful for and 2 things I have achieved. And I write this I have a notebook that is just for these things. And so I try and write 2 of those during the day. And then that generally is the first notebook I get out in an evening when I'm doing my planner routine, is I pull that notebook out and add the nighttime ones. So every day trying to write 4 things that I'm grateful for and 4 things that I've achieved. The next planner/journal I tend to pull out is my 5-year journal, which is a question a day, and I just write down the answer to that. I do make a planner for this now, and I am excited to move into that planner, but I am currently only in year 3, so that won't be for another couple of years. So yeah, that is available in a 7x9, and that planner is a collab with Beth of Beth Plans XO, because she came up with all of the questions and things and put them together, and yeah, then I just designed the planner based on the questions. So yeah, that's what that is. The next planner I tend to fill in is Bayla's 5-year journal. To be honest, I'm quite behind on this. I really need to sit down and catch up on my memory notes and her 5-year journal. But essentially, I use a Lunchtime 1917 5-year journal, and I write about 6, 7 lines. I think I fit in maybe 7, 8 lines about what she has done that day. For example, if she's been at nursery, I use nursery's little summary of what they've done for the day and any pictures that she's in the nursery summary to write about her day. And like if she spent some time with my parents, I'll write about that and things. I'll find out from them so that so I'm probably going to give her this when she's 18. So when she's 18, she will get a diary of the first 5 years of her life, which I think is just a really lovely, memory keeping little bit for her. And she won't remember all of these little details, but I want her to be able to look back and read it with, hopefully, the love we have for her is coming through as well. So I just think that's really sweet. The next thing I tend to do is I write on my memory notes pad from Plannerface what I have done that day. I well, no, I don't really think about how many things I write, but if I get to I, I usually easily write 6 or 7 things that we've done that day down. But if I get to 8 and I don't really have anything else, or I kind of half have a thing, I look through that list and get rid of one, because I'd rather have 8 things in my planner than 9, because 9 means I need to use 3 full box spaces in this memory keeper planner, and 8 means I can fit it in just 2 boxes. So if there's 9 things and one of them is easily got rid of, I tend to get rid of one. Or if there's 9 and there's nothing really to get rid of, I tend to think of something else little that I can add. For example, sometimes I add things like reading Bayla her bedtime stories, because I don't generally mark that in. I don't generally mark in bedtime or anything like that. So yeah, and most of the time I don't mark in morning routine anymore. I quite often mark in playing Dreamlight Valley, because most mornings when I feed Bela first thing. So days she's not in nursery, I tend to play Dreamlight Valley while I feed her. Though I'm trying to maybe convert that into doing a bit of reading, but I can't decide whether, yeah, I'd rather read at night at the same time, so don't know. But yeah, so if it's around the places where I need an extra box, I think a little bit more about how many things I'm writing, but generally I just write down what we've done and don't think too much about it. I think that's all of the sort of other planners I check in with. So I then go across to my bullet journal. And I actually start at the beginning of my bullet journal. And as soon as I pick my bullet journal up, I don't turn to the current month. I actually go right to the beginning of the journal and my A Year in Pixels. So I only have 2 pages before my years in pixels start at the beginning of my journal. And that is like my introduction about me page and my year at a glance. So I just turn past that page and start on my year in pixels. And I think I have 8 or 9 maybe year in pixels, but I have things like I have my mood tracker, my rate my day, I have how much time I've spent playing with Bela, I've got an exercise streak which I am doing terribly at the moment. I've fallen off my streak and have not got it started again. I have a reading tracker, I have a sort of menstrual cycle sex tracker. I don't know how else to describe that, and I think that might be it. I can't think of any others at the moment. So I think it's 7, I think. But yeah, so I go through and fill those in. I then take a little flick through the rest of my start of journal pages. The one I do quite regularly check in with and update is my 2026s in 2026. And I don't always colour in the boxes every day, but I usually add anything that needs adding to the lists. And then at the end of the week, I tend to go back in and fill in the right number of boxes, etc. And I change colour for that in my boxes each month. So it's a nice, obvious, like, oh, you did this much this month, and oh, you did loads in February, for example. And I think that's kind of it for the start of journal pages. I have my YouTube tracker, I have my future me problems, and a few just other little bits and pieces I sometimes flick past. But I generally don't really fill much else in the start of my planner. And once I get to there, I then go to any quarterly pages. So this quarter I do have a couple of quarterly pages. One of them is a weight loss tracker, which I'm not going to lie, I've not lost any weight yet this quarter, so it's not been touched. One of them's a goal tracker. I don't generally check in with the goal tracker every week. Every day. I tend to keep it to once a week or once a month, to just because there's not that much to add. And I usually have a quick glance once a week at my teaching tracker to work out whether I'm meant to be going to teaching that week on a Tuesday. I then turn into my monthly pages. So nearly always at the start of every month, I have some form of monthly. I generally do my monthly as a week view and do 4 of those rather than doing a more traditional monthly where your Monday is on the left and Sunday is on the right. I tend to do Monday at the top and Sunday at the bottom and do week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 going from left to right. And it's what works best for my brain. I haven't seen very many people do their monthlies like that, but that is just what works best for me. I generally don't add anything to this page. This is more a reference for me because it's just appointments and anything. The only that is sometimes I do update that every week, but not always. And then I just go through any start of month pages that I have. Usually I have a habit tracker, usually I have a steps tracker and some way of tracking my goals or my priorities for that week. And I just have a little flick through those and a little look at those and fill in any trackers, etc. I then go into where I spend the majority of my time in this journal, which is my dailies. So I then just start my new daily. I check in with my list for that day, tick off anything that needs ticking off, and have a think about what I'm going to do with the other things. Add in a new header for the next day. So, for example, tonight I will write down Tuesday and make my Tuesday list. And then first thing I do is I put a couple of things that I try and do every single day. So these are dancing, achievements, and there is a third, and my pelvic floor. So those 3 things are at the top of nearly every list. But before I even do that, I flip back to that monthly spread, get any appointments or tasks or anything that is on that, and they go right at the top of my daily. Usually because they are timed appointments and I need to, have those front and center because the rest of my day needs to work around those. After I've got those and my 3 habits in, I then essentially get anything from the day before that I want to actually do. So anything that needs migrating from the day before across, I migrate that into the list, putting a little arrow on the day before. I then turn back to, then I check in with my head and get down anything that I know I want to do the next day. Once I've got those things out of my head, I then check in with my priorities list for the week and see which of my priorities I think I can achieve the following day. Obviously, that does depend a little bit on the day of the week. So normally on a Monday, I have Bela on my own. My husband is it's Monday when I'm recording this. My husband is actually sitting right next to me while I record this voiceover because it's a bank holiday here in the UK. And so he is at home. But normally on a Monday, I have Bela all day on my own while he's at work. So I can not necessarily get as much done. But I do also have my co-working call with my Patreon. So I also get quite a lot done in that because I'm more productive when I've got some sort of accountability there. Tuesdays, we have a baby class every morning at the moment, and also every other Tuesday, I have teaching, as I mentioned earlier, when I check in with my quarterly pages. So if we have teaching, I'm going to get less done that day by the pure fact that I'm at work for half the day. So Tuesdays are quite variable depending what week it is. Then Wednesdays, we are generally at home without Bela, and we try and do any housework, or I try and do any Tilly Journals work and things like that we need to get done so that we can enjoy the weekend with Bela a bit more rather than trying to get things done all the time. Thursday and Friday I'm at work and I do not do pretty much anything else other than looking after Bela and being at work, because by the time I'm home from work, we've done dinner, we've had a bit of play time with Bela. It's basically Bela's bedtime, and after Bela's bedtime, I just fill in my planners and go to bed. Pretty much, even sometimes I don't even do that because she's taking so long to go down at the moment. It just depends whether she actually goes down at 9:15 or whether she manages to stay awake till 10 o'clock when we like to start getting ready for bed anyway. Then Saturday and Sunday, it depends whether we've got anything on, whether we've got any plans, but generally I try and spend as much time not working as I can here, but I do obviously have to get some things done those days for my goals and for my channel and shop, so it's just a bit variable. So that is my planning routine in a little nutshell. I hope that helps you work out your planning routine. On the screen in just a moment, you will be able to see a link to all of my previous videos in this planner, all of my memory spreads for the 2026, and a video YouTube links you will enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Comment, like down below, all that kind of jazz, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!